Um, um, my students have been asking me some questions regarding what should be the role of the project manager. When you talk the role of the project manager, the planner himself is very important. This is like you are asking someone what will be the role of the chief executive. This is the chief. This is the chief executive of the project. He's the executive of the project by himself. Failure of the project is the failure of the project manager himself. And you should understand this. A project manager must be someone who understands on how to play with the team. You must be a team player. You must understand the motive behind your team. You must make sure everybody owns the results of the project. Your role is to inspire people. Your role is to lead people collectively towards the desired output of the project. Now, if you are posing as a boss, there is nothing called a boss in a project management. You will never be successful if you don't know how to play with the team. The team is the most important element when managing any type of a project. So develop your skill, show your capability, flexibility, and so must be maintained when you are working with a team. And avoid the elements of posing yourself as if you're a boss all the time. When you pose like a boss, then I think you can't manage a project properly. And your project will not be sustainable. The project manager is someone who knows where the project is going. It's just like a driver driving a car. You know you're in the road driving, you must be able to know your destination. While you are driving, you know the destination. So project manager must know the destination. Control the costs. All the time, you must control costs. Minimize costs. It should be in your fingertips. Maximize revenue. That should be another point that you need to take into account. Maximize revenue, control your costs. So whenever you're running a project, your role will be to control the cost or minimize cost and maximize revenue. That is the pillar. If you overspend, the project will overrun cost. So it's going to be a problem. And it will bring about the total failure of your project. Directing staff towards the right path they should go. If the staff have problems, then you have responsibility to address their problem accordingly and inspire them to go forward. If you find your team also is tired, you have to inspire at one particular point. They are human beings, so you need to inspire all the time. Also, making innovation is another area that the project manager must know. Setting plans. You cannot, of course, you cannot do it, you cannot do plan by yourself, but make sure you have a proper plan for anything that you are doing, and you follow the rules and the regulations of your organization. If you are doing it for yourself, you will end up in problem. So make sure you control everything within the policy context of your organization. Involve people. That is another area you need to look at when you are taking leadership for your project. If there is a problem, don't run. Don't stop producing. Keep on producing. Like today in Tanzania, we have the COVID-19 epidemic. Some of the chief executives, they're running away. They're closing up business. They're closing up projects. They're stopping projects from not producing, rather than innovating on how they should run the organization. Because at the end of the day, if everybody is stopping producing, is stopping from running the projects, unemployment, social unrest, political unrest, and so on will be the order of the day. Out of problem, if you can refer the previous lecture where I say out of problem, it is where innovation needs to come in, and the projects must come in out of those problems. Of course, if there's no problem, it means there is no project. You don't need a project if there's no problem. There must be problem. And your duty as a manager, you need to develop the cause-effect relationship so that you can come up with good plans to examine those relationships on how you can address the problem. Out of COVID, it is time for country like Tanzania to focus on local projects, production, manufacturing of everything locally. So there is so many opportunities around. Good executive will not close. Good project manager will not close the project. Will go and innovate the best technique to approach the problem. Again, as I said in the other lecture, let me also remind you, in this country, there are so many opportunities for younger people to go and employ themselves through projects. You can go for fishing project, that is one. You can do fishing. You can go to Lake Victoria, start doing fishing. You can go to Indian Ocean just nearby, it's so huge, you can do fishing. You can go to Lake Nyasa, you can do fishing. Rukwa, do fishing, and so on. So many lakes, rivers around the country. So we have good number of projects that are related to fishing industry. You can go for agriculture. You can do farming. You can go to a place like Morogoro and secure a piece of land over there, and you'll find running your own farming projects. You can do farm projects. You can do maize plantation. You can do beans plantation, and so on. You can go for any type of projects related to agriculture that you want. You can set up timber projects. You can go for furniture projects. You can go for manufacturing related projects. You manufacture clothing. You manufacture, you can go for textile industry, textile industry. It's very important, and that's very easy for younger people like you to get started with the project. You can go for textile industry. When you go for textile industry, all the raw materials are here. You need to organize and decide what type of products you want to produce. If it is shaped like this one, you can produce. You can produce. You have such capability. You can employ yourself through that project. You can go for any other projects. You can go for tourism project. Tourism project. You know, we have good center in Tanzania, and among the world wonders, one of those world wonders are coming from Tanzania. This is through tourism sector. You have Tarangire, you have Serengeti, you have Ngorongoro, you have Manyara National Park, you have Kilimanjaro, and so on. So around those mountains, around those forests, you can find projects. You can find projects. If you go to Manyara National Park, if you go to Ngorongoro National Park, you'll find a project for you. You can go for restaurant projects. You can go for hotels. You can go for lodges. If you think you can't go for those, you can go for schools. You can go for schools. You can set up your own schools, identify one of the remote area, identify a project related to school. Maybe it's a primary school, or maybe it is a pre-primary school, or maybe it is a secondary school. It's up to you. If you are living in the urban area, you just search for the problem. You will see yourself. You can decide to open up a daycare center. A daycare center can keep you, can employ you. You can set up a primary school, English medium school. You can set up secondary school, a high school. And so those are the projects that you want to consider. If you find you cannot do that, you can go for construction projects. You can become you can set up contractor, building construction company. You can set up that one. That will be running bigger projects for the government, constructing roads. So you'll be winning tender. Your role will be winning tender, securing tender from different organizations, including the government. So it will be about constructions of roads. You can construct a road, you can get tender to construct the road. That is a project. You're going to go get a tender to construct a bridge through tenders for the government. You see, and so on. You can get tender to construct schools. You can do repair and maintenance through construction company. So all these are the opportunities that are available in Tanzania. Of course, it's quite funny because these opportunities, we are leaving into the hands of Chinese. They come and do it for you. And while you have such capability of doing it, it's quite funny. So it is time for us to start changing and focusing the real stuff on the ground. There are so many that you can do and plan. So when we have good number of projects down here, then we can bring about a good macroeconomic policies. And let me say this, for us, Joy, lack of joy is a choice we are making by ourselves. Okay, I have tried to attempt some few questions for today because some of you were asking in the class. We had no much time, but again, I will keep on giving you a series of those questions that you are asking. You may also give me a call, you may send me email, I'll be able to respond. Thank you. May I wish you the best for today.